Guys, I read you this letter that I wrote to KL before the last game. Dear KL Rahul, this time will be different. We have Hazelwood, we have Bhuvi, respectfully yours, every RCB fan. Bro, I said respectfully, man. Why did you have to disrespect us like that? Belting Hazelwood, standing at the crease, 18 for 3, not even blinking. KL Rahul at the Chinnaswamy, second year in a row, just taking us apart and taking the points back home to Delhi. I'm gonna write a better letter next time. This is the Red and Bold Show. Accountability before six things we learned. Before anything, guys, I just want to ask you, Rai, Ayush, both of you, Rai, you start. What does this defeat mean to us, to you? You know, how much of a setback is it?
Hi guys. Before we get started, I would like to mention that we're recording the day after. And I wanted to bring that in because I feel like a lot of our emotions were extremely high after the game. And plus it was an afternoon game. So 7:38, we were uh, super angst about everything that happened. We had a way of thinking, and I think the more the time has passed, I think we've done a better job of processing it. At least I have. I don't know what I used. So that we'll find out. But in terms of the loss, I think if you asked me this question yesterday, I would have had a different answer. Today, I actually have an answer that I think it's come at a good time with respect to learning, right? And if there are any holes or gaps in our, whether it's a batting order, whether it's the overall team setup and structure, I think this was the perfect time, right? You don't want to do it later in the season. So you do make changes if you have to now, or you stick to them and be like, hey, we got to take the hit. It was just one bad day. And according to me, I think it was just one bad day, right? Those things that have been clicking for us throughout the season, like Tim David going off at the right time, obviously Rajat Patidar doing what he does best in the first 10 balls, VK, DDP not contributing, obviously Jitesh's form. If you look at all of these things, like it's a mixture of all, but I would say I would rather have it now than later in the season. And I'm feeling optimistic only because I think we did a pretty good job trying to defend it. And on a different day, maybe a wicket here and there, we might have actually been discussing a pretty insane win rather than sitting here to discuss a loss.
Yeah, it always stings after a loss, doesn't it, Ayush?
It does hurt, but I say I have mixed feelings on this one because, like, firstly, I think it's not so bad because of the way we are set up on the table right now. I think 4 and 6 is like really good, especially for RCB standards going historically. And I think what annoyed me was like the individual errors that led up to the loss, and I also feel like if you compare this kind of game to something like last year, we were actually coming away with these 50-50 games, right? Like these last over finishes, we were winning that. And that's the sign of a title winning side. Like you can't go on to win a championship if you're losing games like this. So what bugs me is that like how we, for example, last year in the final against Punjab, I think like similar setup, we pull it back, we get wickets. And same thing this year, we had the chance to do it yesterday, but the execution was lacking. And I think that differentiates a team that goes on to win the title versus someone who will fall just short. So in a sense that yeah, it has come early and hopefully we can work on it. But if we let something like this happen again, I think it like yeah, we might be disappointed at the end.
Yeah, 100%, man. I actually agree more with you, Ayush, than with Rai. I think, Rai, you know what? You said it. You had a chance to sleep after the game and wake up and record. For me, I watched the game at 3 a.m. Have actually taken a flight since, so you guys see me in a different room and a different setup. But yeah, I've been awake ever since that game, so maybe I haven't had the time to process. So here's what I feel, man. I feel yeah, 4 wins from six, still near the top, best NRR, still defending champions. But why it hurts is because Rajasthan loss was different, man, in the sense that, Suryavanshi played such a blinder. That happens. It can happen rarely from a 15-year-old's bat, but okay, fine, you got outplayed. It's okay. This one felt different, and I'll tell you why. Because it felt like we had the game in our hands, like you said, Ayush. We had the pitch, we had the crowd, we had the sick green jerseys as well. I feel like we didn't get outplayed. We got outthought. And that's a lot worse. So, guys, it's that time. You just got your report card and you're taking it home to your parents. And guess what? You failed. You all failed. We all failed. And now it's time to eat some humble pie. Editor, on screen. I'll start with myself. I said KL and Nisanka together will score 10 runs. Bro, when Nisanka got out in the first over, I thought like, yeah, come on, man, this is it. And then obviously, you know what happened after. Ayush, one positive on our whole panel. Phil Salt, 50 plus, great shout, great innings. I just wish we could be happier talking about it. Rai, Mr. Aditya Rai, Romario Shepherd will have an impact as an all-rounder. 25 runs plus if he bats, and he'll take wickets if he bowls. Well, he bowled, he batted, and I don't want to say he lost us the game, but he sure as hell didn't win us the game. Bharat, Rajat 75. Dude, we'd all have loved that, but not meant to be. Not meant to be. Maybe next one. Should be RCB player 100, Ariman, Hazelwood, 3 wickets in the power play. Brutal across the board from the panelists. Guys, thank God we don't put any money on this. And thank God you guys don't put any money on this. Look, I've picked 3 of you guys in the comments. Sahitya, Virat century, DDP partnership, and Bhuvi 3 wickets. Bro, triple prediction. You went all in. I respect the commitment. But sorry, no points for you. Malvika says DC all out. I respect the aggression. Unfortunately, L. Hemant, DDP man of the match. Green jersey, afternoon game. The only thing you were right about is the green jersey and the afternoon game. L. Alright, guys. This has been a tough one, man.
If anyone is putting money on it, you know who to put the money on, basically. The person who gets it right more often than not.
How much commission do other people get on it? Oh God. But anyway, I think, guys, I know for the rest of them it would not, but fun story from the game is that given how Romario got out, the only way I could come back was if he won us that over, right? If he won us the game, it was like 100%. Everyone's going to give it to me. And I was like, man, what are the odds of this happening? First ball, I was like, holy shit. And then obviously we know what happened. So pretty close, yeah. He came pretty
No,
close.
yeah. In a way, you were right. Like you did decide the outcome of the game, so he was an impactful
Yeah.
player.
Dude, exactly, Ayush. I think on screen we said Romario has an impactful knock or impactful performance. He definitely had an impactful performance.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, let's go into this. I always ask you after a win. My favorite question: when was the game won? You guys come with some banger answers. Like Ayush, you've said the game was won and you walked in the stadium. Hemant last week said the game was won at the toss. So, guys, we can ask ourselves when was the game lost? All right, I want to hear a specific moment. Rai, you first, then Ayush.
For me, I just felt like taking Hazelwood down the way Rahul did, especially after the way Bhuvi started and the way Hazelwood bowled last game. If Hazelwood had a good power play bowling compared to what actually happened, I think that was the moment for me. The way he took him down, because people don't go after Hazelwood, and I think that had to do with Adi's intro in our preview, where he basically said Hazelwood is ready, and I think Rahul just saw the video till that part. And then I think the rest is history.
KL, bro. I said respectfully, man. Okay, Rai. Agreed, man. Seeing KL destroy Hazelwood definitely was one turning point. Ayush, any that you can think of or come to mind?
Yeah, we've discussed that Rai is our lucky charm, and when he goes to the stadium, we win. And I think one day before the game, I asked him, "So where are we watching the game?" And he's like, "Not in the Chinnaswamy 3:30 game. It's too hot. I can't do this." And I think that's when we lost it. But on a more serious note, I think the batting at the death was terrible, and it obviously it's a combination because like okay, like let's forgive Particle and Patidar because they do it all the time. But after that, we have 4 batsmen, 4 recognized batsmen: Tim David, Romario Shepherd, Gitesh, and Kunal Pandya. And if 4 of them are going to score, like you pointed out, what 29 runs in 30 balls, that's just not acceptable on any pitch, let alone the Chinnaswamy. So I think that's why we lost the game.
Agreed. Wow, you mentioned Romario batting and no one mentioned Romario's bowling. Ayush, why don't you tell us the other moment the game was lost, the one you were talking about on messages with me?
Yeah, so we were right in the 15th over or so, and Rai and I were discussing this that there's no way that Suyash comes on to bowl again. And we knew it had to be Romario. And given how close the game was, we also at that point understood why, we had to give it to Bhuvi and KP and Hazelwood first. And even Rasikdar did a good job. So we knew we had to use those bowlers just to keep the game tight till the end. But because we had done the math, knowing that Romario is going to come in for that 20th over, we knew there's no way he's going to defend even like he couldn't defend 15, but I'm sure if it was 20, 25, I don't think we would have defended that either. That's the sad part. So I think as soon as we knew that Romario was going to bowl the 20th, that's the second time we lost the game all over again after pulling
Yeah,
it back.
I actually have one point there on this topic, which is that while we were watching, we were super hyped about okay, how much can we leave Romario with? We wanted to leave at least 30. So in the pursuit, when Bhuvi was bowling, he actually was bowling really well, and then he bowled that one slower bouncer outside off that Stubbs hit him for a six, and literally all of our reactions was the same, even in the stadium, which was that no ways, right? So I think that moment definitely hurt us.
It's
But
fine,
then went for it.
even if you didn't give that six away, I think 20, 21 for Romario wouldn't have made a difference.
I don't know, man. I still had hope that he would defend the 15 runs, but dude, the way he bowled, it's not just losing, it's the manner of it. All right, guys, this time they're clearly not going to be all green boxes. Let's do green for the few goods. Let's do yellow for concerns and red for problems we need solved ASAP. Ayush, you kick us off first, man.
Okay, so I'll start with the silver lining, Phil Salt. And he's the only one who really got going, I think, in our batting. And it's also the catch that he took. So like his fielding efforts are insane, and we talk about him almost every game. So I'm really not going to waste time with this one. Batting plus in the field, I don't think we can afford to leave him out at any point.
Yeah. Sorry, Starboy Bethel. Wait another few weeks. I just completely agree, man. Salt gave us the foundation, the platform. The problem was what we did on top of it. Anyway, Raya, anyone else you want to give your flowers to?
Yeah, I think green box for the guy in the green jersey who killed it for us up top, movie, right? Swinging the ball. Uh, like honestly, the one that went to the one uh, the swing, the in swing, the setup, the way with the way he controlled his line and length, defending that. Honestly, if we had another, and I think Ayush mentioned that we could have given him another over up top because he was so good for the kill. He was that good, and obviously the best figures every game, man. He's like the kind of guy that like if we are like watching the top three players every game, I would have movie right up there. He's that vital for us, and he's that consistent. So another green box for him, another week, another game.
Yeah. If our batting had matched what Bhuvi did in the power play, man, this would be a comfortable win. Absolutely. All right, man. Ayush, I think we've talked about all the silver linings and the positives from this game. Let's get into the yellows and the reds.
Okay, then let me start with Rajat Patidhar's captaincy. I mean, just in isolation for this game, so like, don't get me wrong here, but I'd say that the bowling options could have been used a little better, and we've already covered this in a different way. But like for example, Rai mentioned that we wanted Bhuvi to bowl another over in the power play. I know it's easier to say it in hindsight because we lost, but it's a tough one because we do need him in the death as well. But then when the ball is swinging like that, like, come on, how can you not give the ball? Like you saw the LBW he got, like that was insane. And I just feel like one more wicket in the power play could have really shifted the momentum. But instead, KL Rahul took Hazelwood for runs and gave them momentum, early on in the innings. And the second one that I wanted to point out again, which we've already spoken about, is that you cannot leave Romario so late on. Like, so Yash went for runs first 2 overs. I was so sure that, okay, they're going to take a break from him and give Romario an over because when Romario comes into bowl in the, like, let's say 11th or 12th over, he's not going to go for 30 runs. He's not going to go for 25 runs. They're going to be a little cautious because they're already three down. And maybe they'll hit him for 12 runs or 14 runs. And that could have changed the game at the end, right? But in the last over, it's a do or die moment. Yeah, like he's gonna be taking every single ball, and he was. So if you knew that Suyash is not playing well this game, first of all, why give him the third over? And secondly, like use Romario early on, like he's not a death bowler.
All right, Ayush, completely agree. But we trust Rajat going forward. So, Rai, let's hear another red or yellow from today's game.
Yeah, I think we were debating before if this would be a yellow, red, or even if it should be mentioned. We were split in terms of our opinion, but I would go with Tim David yellow. We give him a green every time he does well and it comes off. But when, as an established batsman overseas, 15.1 was the exact point when this happened, where he hit the ball, should have taken a single, built a partnership, and then gone off like he has been doing. Instead, he decided to not take a single when Jitesh was on the other end to queue up Akshat Patel. I think that was absolutely shocking, only because of the fact that, guys, Akshat Patel is the vice captain of the Indian team, right? And he's a pretty good bowler. And when you're telling him the 15th over of the match, not even the 18th or 19th, that you're going to queue him up, he's not an idiot. Literally, he balled it He like the line and length was perfect outside off. Reach, got caught the next ball, and then obviously you've one gotten out at a crucial moment, and two you've brought the morale down of the team because you've obviously impacted how and what you think of Jitesh in the current form that he is. So I think that was, in my opinion, really a turning point in the game, and hence it should be a yellow for this game for sure.
I kind of disagree wholeheartedly here in that, I do agree it was a pivotal moment to lose Tim David. And, we don't know what's going to happen if Tim David is not there in our death overs, right? That's definitely a fact. But I think another thing, and the context matters. And let's go to my fifth box. I want to give Jitesh a red, guys. He's gotten yellows, I think, 2 or 3 times from us before, but now it's a pattern and something we need to address. He gets a red box from me. And by the sounds of it, he gets a red box from Tim David. Tim David didn't want to give him the strike there. And I don't think that's Tim David doing the wrong thing. I think, for me, that's just Jitesh struggling at the other end. He knows if he takes a single, Jitesh is just going to take a single back, give it to him. So I don't know, man. I'm okay with Tim David trying that. I just wish, like you said, pick a better matchup, pick a less smart bowler, or pick a better ball. But for me, I'm okay with what he did. So this is on Jitesh to me. I need to give Jitesh like some, I need to give him some credit for the fact that he's obviously done incredible stuff in his wicket keeping. He's had an incredible innings against LSG last year. I'm not forgetting any of that. But I'll tell you a few things I don't like about Jitesh is when he comes out to bat in the 6th or 7th or 8th or whatever, 9th, 12th over, it's like Rajat's on the other side. He comes out. Obviously, Rajat is the wicket we want to protect. So Rajat's going to take singles, hoping Jitesh goes off. But Jitesh just keeps taking singles right back, no matter who's on the other side. And that really triggers me.
In the last game, actually, he played really well with respect to the 20 odd he got of 8 balls, and he actually hit Digvej Rathi for, I think, 18 runs in 4 balls, right? So if he did take a single, and if he maybe hit a 6 or a 4 of Aksha to get his confidence back, you never know, right? But again, it's hindsight, right? We're discussing it. But yeah, it's more mainly, I do want to mention to all our viewers that this 6 things we learned is specifically for this game. And I think that's how we should expect our reviews to be, whether we do well or we do not, right? That's the only way I think it's best suited. And for all of you to also come on and tune in to hear what we have to say or in that manner, right? And not be biased or just look at things and what happened in the last year.
Agreed, man. Agreed. And Rai, if you don't agree with my red box, you know what? Let's leave it in editor. Let Rai take the 6th red box. So go ahead.
I think the last one is obviously my bold prediction, which wasn't that bold, I guess, right? Which is obviously Romario's contribution. I think it hurt more because he scored only one. Right? I think if he actually hit 20 and then in his batting innings and then had to bowl the last over because of bad captaincy or management or whatever, I don't think we would be this harsh. I'd probably give him a red. We would have given him a yellow. But I think the concern is because he's in that slot as an all rounder, right? And if you're not contributing with the bat and you're only bowling in the end to get beaten up the way he did, I think that really stings. And I think there's something for the management to think here with respect to either he gets in form and we give him a game or two to change, given that either Duffy could come in to bolster our bowling lineup or a Bethel could come in as well, right, to bolster the batting. So it is a call to take, but you never know, with the management. They keep it stable. They give their players chances. I think DK in particular is going to give Jitesh and Romario a chance, is what I feel. But we'll see on Friday.
Yeah,
It's
no,
actually a tough
absolutely.
one because I Mario is in the team for as like to be an all rounder, and I don't know what to expect from him. Like I can't really say that okay, like he's going to bowl 2 overs in the game, and I cannot say that he's going to come and score 20 of 10 in any game. So it's becoming problematic, and I don't know if like maybe we really do need an all rounder, but if you keep playing like this, then yeah, like we maybe need a specialist batsman or a specialist bowler, like wherever we're falling short. So it's a tough one. And on the Jitesh point, I also want to mention that he tried to take a single where there wasn't one and got Kunal Pandya out. I can't believe no one mentioned that while you were giving him the red box. But but, but yeah,
you know,
I don't. It's not
dude,
like he was striking it that he could take the single like that. Like he was like what 14 of 20 he ended up at. So that was pretty sad overall. I mean, yeah, like even Tim David, what he did wasn't right. So I'm kind of on the fence on that one.
okay. Well, guys, so these are the 6 things we've learned, clearly debated, discussed. Let us know your 6 things. Let us know if you agree. Are we being too harsh on Jitesh and Romario? What did you think of Tim David not taking that single? Let us know everything in the comments, guys. And just a quick question before we wrap up on Chinnaswamy batting first. This seems to be a kryptonite. So, Rai, I wanted to tell you a message I received from Ariman, who's not here today. But he said that, dude, chasing at the Chinnaswamy is such a huge advantage that he thinks no captain will ever not chase if they win the toss. Rai, I'm asking you this because ahead of the game, you said that you expect our management to try to chase, but if it were up to you, you would bat first, given it's the day game, 39-degree weather. So I wanted to ask you, do you still stand by that? And how would you respond to Ariman?
Yeah, no, said about batting first. In fact, Rajat also said that at the toss. Maybe he said it because, that's what you have to say when you lose the toss and you're put into bat from a mental standpoint. But I think because it was the day game and it was so hot, I would have wanted us to bat first. And to the point, in terms of Chinnaswamy, the game, yeah, Chennai and Wankhede were the two games where we batted first. So yeah, so to my point that we have won two games batting first, right? And both those games we had that perfect thing of a good opening partnership, Rajat firing in the middle with that quick fire 30-40, and then Tim Dave finishing it. Literally, that was the template in both those games. Now, does that mean that it's a template that cannot be done every time? It can. I think the issue here is a personnel issue, right? Which we discussed in the 6 things we learned, which is a Jitesh not firing and a Romario not firing. So then we're literally going in every game batting first. That opening partnership has to be solid 100 run. You need a Rajat 50 and you need a Tim Dave 50 to reach 200 or 210, right? Which will not happen on most days. And yesterday was an example of that. That Rajat can have an off day. It's cricket, right? It's just bound to happen. So I think it's more of a personal thing, and I don't think it is it is to do with the template of batting first. And again, I think my idea was because it was a hot day with a wicket of that sort, which I think we could have defended.
As that was tough. Again, I said this after the last game we won that I almost didn't even want to do it. But these two boys said there's so much more to learn from games you lose. And that's just true in life. So, guys, hope you learned something. RCB, hope you learned something. But don't worry, 4 wins from 6, still close to the top of the table, still defending champions. More games to come, guys. It's okay. It's really okay. Next game on Friday, Gujarat. We'll be ready. We have a week almost to prepare. And in fact, in that week, guys, we have some exciting stuff coming. We have a brand new episode. Not going to tell you what it is, but watch our YouTube channel. Also, watch our Instagram. We have one last home game. And you know what that means? One more giveaway. So look out for that. And last thing, guys, we're so close to 1,000 subs. Help us get there. Share this with an RCB fan who watched the game like you did and needs to process his feelings. Till then, pick yourselves up, take care of yourself, and play.